Hello, I'm Sebastian Andrew, and it being Friday, we're just going to kind of throw ideas together and see what comes out. I did have a plan for today, but the plan kind of went awry, so we'll see what um, comes out. Like I said, the different spirits will, of course, add their 3 cents, and we'll enjoy it as we go. First of all, starting tomorrow and running through May 22nd, the Pleiadian Portal opens. Now, this is a portal I've always been drawn to, even though I've never explored it beyond knowing that it's there. Um, Probably because it happens now, which is close to my birthday and um, just a very interesting time for an energy portal to open. It's according to sources that I have found, it's a time of elevated consciousness, healing, and an opportunity to create a brighter reality. Now, you know my feelings on the word bright, so we'll leave that there. But the healing is always a useful thing. Um, and elevated consciousness, yes, okay, being elevated is a good idea for some things. Um, in fact, that was one of the things I wanted to talk about today was altered states of consciousness. Elevated being one of them. But there's other states of consciousness that are useful to energy workers, and they're easily obtained. Um, in fact, one of them we're in most of the time because we're all stuck on our phones or other devices and in a pretty much straight state of trance that is difficult to get out of because we're focused on what's going on the screen. We're focused on whatever, a game, a book, for want of a better word. It's a book. It's the printed word by somebody else or by us. Of course, if it's written by us, it's usually a journal. So one of which I keep. Actually, I keep two. But the ongoing journal I have been running since 2016, I think, in various forms. Um, and it's in its third iteration right now because when I reach a certain point, it starts taking a while for Word to save it. So I started a word limit, and when I get close to that, then I recreate the journal, usually with a different title. Um, Consciousness. Sorry, got distracted there. So, see what my notes say for today. The human brain operates in 5 primary brainwave states. Gamma, which is associated with heightened focus, creativity, and problem solving. Beta, which is linked to wakefulness, alertness, and active thinking. That's the brain state you're in most of the time. Well, when you're awake anyway. Alpha occurs during relaxation, meditation, and daydreaming. That's one of the states I'm in most of the time. Theta is experienced during deep relaxation, hypnosis, and light sleep. theta is a state that I tend to use when enjoying other people. It's a state I try to put them into so that they can better enjoy what's going on. Delta is dominant during deep dreamless sleep and physical healing. So there's those 5 states. Now, altered states of consciousness refer to various mental states in which the mind is aware, but not in its usual wakeful condition. These states include hypnosis, which I mentioned, which is a trance-like state where individuals are highly suggestible. A lot of people, when they hear about hypnosis, they tend to cringe because there's the evil scientist mind brainwashing, cleansing being that uses hypnosis on a regular basis. But hypnosis is also useful for healing, for achieving the brain states that I mentioned above and before. And I mean, it's a useful state. Yes, there is the ability to twist it into something evil, which I don't like using that word because I tend to see myself as. But, okay. So, but there's a lot that hypnosis can be used, a lot of good that hypnosis can be used for. In my working with it, which I did professionally for a number of years, I used it for healing mostly. I helped my second wife, Ariana, through her fibromyalgia. We used it to dull down and remove pain in a number of ways. It's with hypnosis, though, repetition is needed, especially when used for healing, because the body state changes in the healing, so you have to adjust the hypnotic states as you go. But other altered states of consciousness. Apparently, I'm having a hard time talking today. Follow along as best you can. Meditation, which is a focused and relaxed mental state. That's a state I, like I said, tend to be in a good deal of the time. Hallucination, which is perceiving things that aren't present in reality. Now, I have a problem with that, naming it that, basically. Hallucination is something that shrinks use a lot to demark what crazy people see or deal with. But what we see, as I speak as a crazy person, what we see is real to us. Doesn't mean it's not real. It's just outside the normal person's perceptions. And even the word normal is screwy because the only thing that's normal is the washing machine cycle. But that's how other people describe reality is normality. It's not. There's nothing normal. I think it was the last video I made, that I spoke of seeing beyond reality, beyond the veil. And the veil is all around us. The veil is how others see the edge of reality, of normality. But we as humans see a lot less, perceive a lot less than other things, other animals, cats, dogs, dolphins, whales, wolves, any animal. Pretty much any animal can see or hear or smell things that we can't. Cats were worshipped in Egypt, ancient Egypt, because they could interact with the spirit realms. They still can. If you've ever seen a cat staring at the wall or the ceiling or whatever, and there's no, there's no bugs, there's no little red dot moving around, but they're just staring, they're perceiving something that we as humans cannot. Well, most humans. And that was what I was trying to hit on in the last video, was that you try to see beyond normality. Try to see beyond the edge. And I'm going to keep harping on this because there is a lot that is starting to come through, starting to be seen by those who consider themselves normal. And they're all going, ah! What is that? And it's not something to be afraid of. It's been there for a long time. You just didn't see it. So, hallucination, it's not hallucination. It's just somebody seeing someone perceiving, I should say, reality differently. And it's not something to be scared of. So there's that. Another altered state of consciousness is trance, which I mentioned. It's a state of deep absorption or focused attention, and it's a state that most people are in because they're sucked into their phones or watching movies, watching videos. Even as you're watching me, you're focused on what I'm saying. Even if you're just listening, I've become a podcast. You're not watching my face. You're not watching the movement of the background in the fan, but you're listening to what I'm saying. So you're focused. You're tranced, however modestly. Or in the case of my two ex-wives, I have watched them do this. They are focused on their games, but still able to interact with what's going on in the room around them. So there's various levels of trance that people can work at. And then another state of consciousness is the dream stage, which is the altered state during dreaming, in which you're in somewhere between delta and theta, because your mind is in a state that it throws thoughts and connections back at you, and that's your dreams. Messages, that's always a good way to get the messages from your spirit guides. And, it's dreaming, even daydreaming, is a unique state of mind. So there's that. And there's ways to reach altered states, like with the mind machine that I'm still going to talk about as soon as I find all the pieces. And I'm able to translate the manual into something that I can speak to you so you can understand. So I hope you come back for more. And I look forward to talking to you again.